Stop procrastinating. Your approval addiction is killing your dreams. You have dreams, big ones, the kind that keep you up at night, filling you with a quiet excitement. But then the morning comes, and with it, that familiar, heavy blanket of inaction. The project sits untouched. The passion project remains a dream. You tell yourself it's just procrastination, a lack of discipline, or maybe even laziness. You beat yourself up, promising tomorrow will be different. But what if the real enemy isn't what you think? What if it's a subtle, insidious force, a hidden addiction that's silently, relentlessly killing your dreams? What if it's your desperate, often unconscious, need for approval? Unmasking the approval addiction. In this video, we're going to confront the approval addiction, a psychological trap where your relentless pursuit of external validation becomes the ultimate saboteur of your ambition. We'll expose how this deep-seated craving for praise, acceptance, and recognition subtly fuels your procrastination, leading you to abandon your most important goals. This isn't about shaming you. It's about a radical awakening. We'll explore the surprising ways this pattern manifests, how it hijacks your drive, and most importantly, we'll equip you with revolutionary strategies to break free from its grip. Get ready to reclaim your power, ignite your true potential, and finally, stop procrastinating and start living the limitless flow life you were meant for. This is your urgent call to action. Welcome to Limitless Mind Flow, where we empower you to unlock your full potential and master your inner world. If you're ready to transform your mindset, boost your productivity, and live a life of true freedom, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our weekly insights. Now, let's better understand today's crucial and perhaps uncomfortable topic: the hidden roots of procrastination. Culprit 1, the paralysis of judgment, the fear of not being good enough. Let's start with the most direct manifestation of this addiction, the paralysis induced by the fear of judgment and criticism. When your self-worth is tethered to what others think, every action, every creation, every bold step becomes a performance. And if the performance isn't guaranteed a standing ovation, or worse, if it risks a single boo, your brain chooses the safest route: inaction. If you don't start, you can't be judged, and thus you can't be found not good enough. Think about Sarah, a talented artist with a unique vision for a new painting. She dreams of expressing herself, but every time she picks up the brush, a chorus of imagined voices fills her mind. Will they like it? Is it original enough? What if it's criticized? What if it's not perfect? This isn't laziness, it's a profound, almost debilitating fear of exposing her true self to potential disapproval. Instead of painting, she finds herself endlessly sketching, reorganizing her studio, or scrolling through other artists' perfect work. Anything that feels productive but avoids the core act of creation that risks judgment. The temporary relief from this anxiety acts as a powerful reward, reinforcing the procrastination loop. Her brain learns creating equals risk of painful judgment, distraction equals safety. This isn't a conscious choice to be unproductive, it's a subconscious attempt to manage the uncomfortable emotions tied to potential disapproval. This fear, fueled by the approval addiction, is actively killing her dreams of becoming a recognized artist. This means the key isn't to force yourself to create through the fear, but to address the underlying anxiety of judgment first. Acknowledge the feeling without judgment. Is it a fear of not being perfect? A fear of being misunderstood? Once you name it, you can begin to disarm it. This shifts your focus from "I must produce perfect work" to "How can I manage this fear so I can approach this task with courage regardless of the outcome?" If this perspective on procrastination and judgment is hitting home, hit the like button and let me know in the comments if you've ever felt this paralysis of judgment in your own life. Culprit 2, the external validation void, the endless pursuit of enough. Our second hidden culprit is the core of the problem, the insatiable void of external validation. For many of us, our sense of self-worth is not an internal wellspring, but an empty cup we desperately try to fill with praise, recognition, and affirmation from others. We crave the likes, the attaboys, the "you're so talenteds." When we embark on a task, especially a new or challenging one, we subconsciously anticipate this applause. If that external validation isn't guaranteed, or if the path to it seems uncertain, our motivation doesn't just wane, it evaporates, and procrastination sets in. Why put in the effort if the reward isn't assured? Consider Mark, a budding entrepreneur with an innovative app idea. He's brilliant, but his drive is fueled by the fantasy of a viral launch, glowing reviews, and investor praise. He spends hours perfecting his pitch deck, tweaking minor details, but avoids the crucial step of actually launching his minimum viable product. Why? Because the risk of lukewarm reception, or worse, criticism, feels unbearable. He's not lazy. His internal reward system is completely hijacked by the need for external validation. The joy of creation itself becomes secondary to the potential likes and shares. When the audience isn't there, or the applause isn't guaranteed, the motivation to create diminishes. This is a common experience in the digital age, where instant feedback loops condition us to seek external approval for our efforts, and it's actively killing his dreams of building a successful company. This means the solution isn't to stop creating, but to fundamentally shift your source of validation from external to internal. Your worth isn't determined by how many likes you get, how many compliments you receive, or how perfectly your project is executed in the eyes of others. It's determined by your effort, your growth, and your commitment to your own values. When your cup of self-worth is filled from within, the desperate need for external validation shrinks, and with it, the power it has to fuel your procrastination. This leads us to the power of self-validation. Can you find satisfaction in the process, regardless of the outcome? Can you be your own biggest cheerleader, even when no one else is watching? If you're finding this deep dive into procrastination and validation insightful, consider sharing this video with a friend who might also be caught in the approval loop. It could be the perspective they need to break free and stop their own dreams from being killed. Culprit 3. Perfectionism as a shield. The unfinished masterpiece, the undelivered potential. Our third hidden culprit is a deceptive one, often masquerading as a virtue. Perfectionism used as a shield against judgment and a proxy for external validation. For many high achievers, the desire for an ideal outcome isn't just about excellence, it's about avoiding any potential criticism. If it can't be flawless, why start at all? The fear of not meeting impossibly high standards or of having your imperfect work judged can lead to endless delays disguised as still working on it or just one more tweak. This isn't about striving for quality, it's about avoiding vulnerability. Think of Lisa, a meticulous graphic designer. She spent weeks perfecting a logo for a client, tweaking every curve, every shade. But when it came to presenting the final concept, she kept delaying. She'd find one more thing to adjust. She wasn't lazy, she was terrified that her work, no matter how good, wouldn't be perfect enough, or that the client might criticize it. This fear of not meeting an internal, often unrealistic standard, which is often a projection of external expectations, kept her from completing the project. The irony is, the pursuit of perfection often leads to no action at all. The unfinished masterpiece becomes a safe haven from potential disapproval, but it's also actively killing her dreams of building a robust portfolio and a thriving career. This isn't about lowering your standards to mediocrity. It's about shifting your focus from a flawless, externally approved outcome to consistent, courageous progress. Confident action isn't about being perfect, it's about being brave enough to be imperfect. It's about understanding that every great creation, every successful venture started with imperfect first steps. The feedback you get from imperfect action is far more valuable than the imagined perfection of inaction. When you release the desperate need for perfection, you release the fear of judgment, and with it, the paralyzing grip of procrastination. It's time to choose progress over paralysis. Embrace the mantra, "Done is better than perfect." For your next task, aim for good enough to get it out there. You can always iterate and improve later. The act of completion builds momentum and confidence in a way that endless striving for perfection never will. If you're a perfectionist, this might be a tough pill to swallow, but it's crucial for breaking free. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever used perfectionism as a form of procrastination driven by the need for approval? Culprit 4. Comparison and the social media trap, the endless pursuit of external validation. Our fourth hidden culprit, especially prevalent in our modern world, is the insidious trap of comparison, relentlessly amplified by social media. When your self-worth is tied to external validation, you inevitably start comparing your progress, your appearance, your achievements to others. And on platforms designed to showcase only the highlights, this comparison becomes a relentless, unwinnable game. Seeing others' perfect lives, instant successes, or effortless achievements can trigger feelings of inadequacy, envy, and a crushing sense that your own efforts are just not enough. This feeling of not measuring up can be so overwhelming that it leads to complete inaction, because why bother if I can't be as good as them? Imagine John, an aspiring entrepreneur. He spends hours scrolling through LinkedIn and Instagram, seeing other founders celebrating massive funding rounds or viral product launches. Instead of focusing on his own business plan, he gets caught in a cycle of self-doubt. My idea isn't as revolutionary. I don't have their network. I'm not moving fast enough. He's not lazy. He's paralyzed by the constant, often unrealistic comparison. The fear of not being as successful, as brilliant, or as validated as others leads him to procrastinate on his own unique path. The temporary escape into comparison-induced scrolling provides a fleeting distraction from his own perceived shortcomings, further entrenching the procrastination habit. This constant comparison, fueled by the approval addiction, is actively killing his dreams of building a unique and impactful business. To combat this, we need to understand that comparison is the thief of joy and the fuel of inaction when tied to external validation. Your journey is unique. Your timeline is your own. Focus on your own progress, your own growth, and your own internal metrics of success. This isn't about ignoring others' achievements, but about using them as inspiration, not as a stick to beat yourself with. When you detach your self-worth from external comparison, you free up immense mental energy that was previously consumed by self-doubt and inaction, energy that can now be channeled into building your dreams. Implement a comparison detox. For one day or even just a few hours, consciously avoid social media or any activity that triggers comparison. Redirect that energy into one small, actionable step towards your own goals. If you find this insight helpful, please give this video a like. It helps us know what content resonates most with you and allows us to reach more people like you to help them stop procrastinating and reclaim their dreams. The path to unstoppable consistency. The antidotes, strategies for lasting change. Now that we've unmasked the true culprits behind procrastination, especially those rooted in the approval addiction, let's arm ourselves with the powerful antidotes. These aren't just tips, they are fundamental shifts in how you approach your tasks, your self-worth, and your life. Designed to build unstoppable consistency and true emotional independence. Strategy 1. Cultivating radical self-compassion and inner validation. The first, and perhaps most crucial, antidote is to cultivate radical self-compassion and build an unshakable inner source of validation. Instead of desperately seeking approval from the outside, learn to provide it for yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on without harsh self-criticism. Your worth is inherent. It doesn't need to be earned through external praise or perfect performance. This is the foundation for stopping procrastination driven by fear of judgment. After completing any small task, even a 2-minute one, or even just showing up when you didn't feel like it, pause. Tell yourself, I showed up. I did my best. That's what a consistent, self-validating person does. Reinforce this new identity daily through positive self-talk and acknowledgement of your effort, not just the outcome. This internal applause is far more powerful than any external praise. Strategy 2. Embracing imperfect action despite the fear of judgment. The second antidote is to courageously embrace imperfect action. This directly counters the paralysis of judgment and perfectionism fueled by the approval addiction. Understand that done is always better than perfect, especially when perfection leads to inaction. The goal is to build momentum, to create, to learn, and to iterate. Your first draft will be messy, your first attempt will have flaws, and that's perfectly okay. The act of taking action despite the fear of judgment is a powerful act of self-validation. It proves to yourself that your progress matters more than external opinion. This is how you stop procrastinating and start building your dreams. For your next task, intentionally aim for good enough to get it out the door. Release the desperate need for external approval on your initial attempts. Focus on the learning, the completion, and the momentum it creates. The world needs your imperfect action far more than your perfect inaction. Remember, your dreams are waiting for you to start, not to be perfect. Strategy 3. Detaching your self-worth from external outcomes. The third antidote is to consciously and deliberately detach your self-worth from external outcomes. Your value as a human being is not tied to the number of likes you get, the praise you receive, the sales figures, or the grades on a test. These are external metrics, often beyond your full control, and chasing them is an endless, exhausting game. Focus instead on what you can control: your effort, your intention, your learning, and your unwavering commitment to your own growth. When you release the desperate need for external validation, the fear of judgment loses its power to paralyze you. You become free to act from a place of intrinsic motivation and purpose, which is the true path to stopping procrastination for good. Before starting a task, set a clear intention for your effort and learning, not for the external result. Remind yourself, I am doing this for my growth, for my vision, for myself. This shifts the focus inward, where your power truly lies. If these strategies resonate with you, consider sharing this video with a friend who might also benefit from these insights. It's a powerful way to help others on their journey to limitless flow and to stop their dreams from being killed by procrastination. Strategy 4. Building an unshakable inner core, self-worth, and boundaries. The fourth and final antidote is about building an unshakable inner core of self-worth and setting clear, non-negotiable boundaries. When your self-worth is solid and self-generated, you're less susceptible to the whims of external opinion. This involves consistent self-care, honoring your deepest values, and fiercely protecting your energy. It also means setting clear boundaries with others and, crucially, with your own inner critic. Say no to draining requests, no to negative self-talk, and yes to activities that truly nourish your soul and build your inner strength. An unshakable inner core means you don't need external validation, because you are already complete and powerful within yourself. This is the ultimate freedom from the approval addiction, allowing you to stop procrastinating and pursue your dreams with unwavering confidence. Practice daily affirmations focused on your inherent worth, not your achievements. I am worthy. I am enough. My value is not dependent on external approval. This consistent self-affirmation, combined with setting healthy boundaries, will create an internal fortress of confidence that the validation trap simply cannot penetrate. Your dreams are too important to be held hostage by the need for external approval. Conclusion: your limitless flow awaits. The journey from the heavy burden of procrastination fueled by the validation trap to the effortless rhythm of consistent action is not about being lazy or not good enough. It's about understanding the intricate workings of your mind and implementing strategies that work with your brain, not against it. By recognizing procrastination for what it truly is, a complex interplay of emotional regulation, fear of judgment, perfectionism, and the craving for external reward, you gain the power to disarm it. And by embracing these powerful antidotes, you are not just fighting a bad habit. You are building an identity as a consistent, unstoppable force driven by inner purpose, not external approval. It's time to stop procrastinating. Your approval addiction is killing your dreams, and it's time to reclaim them. Your path to limitless flow begins now, one consistent, intentional step at a time. If this video resonated with you, if it offered you a new perspective on your struggles, please hit that like button right now. It truly helps us reach more people who need this message. Share this video with anyone you know who struggles with procrastination or the desperate need for external validation. It could be the awakening they need. And most importantly, subscribe to Limitless Mindflow and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our next insight into mental mastery and personal transformation. To continue building your unstoppable momentum, dive into our next video to truly master your day, or check out our video on 7 habits of highly confident people for even more transformative strategies. The power is within you. Let's unlock it together, and let's stop those dreams from being killed.